Good morning, Matt. How are you?
Good morning. I woke up
Hi.
this time.
All right. Good job. Step one done.
Yep. Sorry about yesterday.
That's all right. Good morning, Judith.
Hi, good morning.
I'm going to give you guys the formula sheet for everything, just so you have it. Good morning.
Morning, guys.
All right, so we'll do our sharing our shirts in just a second when we get more people here. Maybe you guys want to share something. I'm going to give you the finance formulas for the rest of the unit so you have them, because you might need more than one formula today if you're a formula type person instead of the TVM solver. So here's the formulas. And I can put the TVM solver in the chat as well. And then I'm going to give you today's handout. All right, and here is the TVM solver. What else might you need? The Desmos scientific calculator, so I'll put that in the chat. And if it was me and I'm always on the same device, I would bookmark these pages so I didn't lose them. So then it's easier when I'm doing my homework or something like that. Okay. All right, so does anybody have a shirt to share? Somebody shared a Freddie Mercury shirt in my last class. Loved it. I love it how sometimes we have to look down and remember what shirt we are wearing, right? Like we don't know. That's fun.
I mean, I guess I could share mine. It's just like a faded Made in Ireland shirt that my dad gave me a while ago. So,
Nice.
Yeah.
I like it. Zevi, you always have an interesting shirt on. What's your shirt today?
Mine's just my Guns N' Roses shirt.
Nice. I like that one. All right, so mine's not a Matthew one today, but it is a new one, so that's exciting. Okay. Here's mine. How many of you remember the Muppets? Yeah. Beaker was my favorite. Do you remember Beaker? He was hilarious. So science, math, they go together, right? So we're good. All right. So today we're going to be investigating more annuity problems, especially if you worked past some of the early problems. You notice that towards the end, you got these two-part problems, right? Where something happens for a while and then something else happens for a while. So that's what we're going to talk about today. And you'll be in breakout rooms working on some problems too. Then how many of you have started thinking about your final presentation? Did anyone decide what they're doing yet? Anyone have an idea? Oh, Matt has an idea. Do you want to share it with us, Matt?
Yeah, sure. Since I'm a history major, I was originally going to try and find records of the inflation of the Roman denarii, in age of antiquity, but I figured that'd be kind of hard to find records of. So instead, I'm gonna look at inflation of uh, like German money in like the 20s and 30s during the Great Depression. And how they just kind of printed a bunch. So, and that in relation to, math. So,
That sounds awesome. Yeah, good. So relating it to our finance unit. Excellent. Ruki, I'm so sorry. Tech issues are terrible. Oh, those of you who got here a little bit after we shared our shirts, did anybody have a shirt to share? I don't want to leave you out. You okay? Okay, anyone else have an idea of what they're doing for their final project? Okay, shoot me a message if you're real concerned. You're like, I don't know what I'm supposed to do. Like, I can help you, right? It's not, I don't want you just lost on your own, because we're going to be talking about that later this week. Okay, we already did T-shirt Tuesday. I put a ton of stuff in the chat already, but you might not have been here. So here's the first thing I'm going to put in the chat. If you already got it, just ignore it. This is the formula sheet for the whole unit of finance. Okay, so that's what that is. Okay, then the handout for today is this, and then the TVM solver. Is here. And then the Desmos scientific calculator. So that should be all the things that you need for today. Okay, so get them up however you need to on your devices. Some of you put Desmos on your phone. Desmos is a free app on your phone, just so when you're trying to do your homework, you don't have to have 17 tabs open like I always do, right? So that's another idea you can do. So we're still talking about annuities. And who can remind me, how do I know when I read the problem if it's an annuity or not? What's the hint?
Can you define what an annuity is again?
Yeah, so Tashina put it in the chat. If it says each or per payment, if you're paying something repeatedly more than once, instead of just depositing something one time, an annuity means you're depositing it on a regular basis, either each month, each quarter, each year, something like that. So that's what an annuity is. So anytime your problem says you're making this deposit or payment each month, that's going to be an annuity. Okay. All right, so and these were our annuity formulas, or we can use the TVM solver, which I think a lot of you like. So in the later parts of PF7, you have some problems with two parts. So what they'll say is something's going to happen for a while, and then that stops happening and something else happens. So you have to do those in two different parts. If you're using the TVM solver, you're going to first find the future value in the first part. Then in the second part, you have to move that future value to your present value and then solve for future value again. That'll make more sense when we do an example, or if you already worked ahead in PF7. If you're using the formulas, you have to be really, really careful. That's why I put the whole formula sheet in the chat, because in the beginning, it usually says there's an annuity. So you have to find the annuity formula for that. But then it stops and it says, then they don't do anything. So they don't make any more payments. Well, as soon as they say they don't make any more payments, it's no longer an annuity. And it goes back to a compound interest formula, which was in PF5. So you have to be careful if you're using the formulas, that's totally fine. You just have to make sure you're using the right formula, okay? All right, so let's look at one. So suppose you invest $140 a month for 6 years into an account earning 7% compounded monthly. So that's the first thing that happens. Then it says after 6 years, you leave the money. You do not make any more deposits or payments in the account for another 26 years, but your investment is still getting all that interest, okay? So it says, how much will you have in the end? Do you see how this is a two-part problem? Okay, so let's do the first part. I'm gonna see, I think I have the worksheet right here. It might be easier for us. Yeah, I'll do it right here. So we'll do it formula over here, and we'll do TVM on this side. Okay, so let's just do part one, where you invest $140 a month for 6 years into an account earning 7% monthly. So first we have to figure out how much do we have in our account after 6 years. Okay, that's what we have to do. So which formula would we use from our annuity formulas? So which one would we use out of these formulas if we want to find out how much we have in the account in 6 years?
The middle one.
PMT.
You want to find payment, you think?
No, future value. Wait.
There you go. We want this one. So we want this first one because it says future value equals something. Okay, so that's the formula we want if we're using formulas. So let's write down that formula so it makes sense and it's easy to keep track of things, right? I only have 70,000 windows open on my computer right now. It's probably not a good idea. Okay, so I'm going to go back to that worksheet and I'm going to say, okay, my formula is future value, which is the same as A, equals my payment times 1 plus R over N to the N times T power minus 1 divided by R over N, okay? Those were looking a little long there. Okay, so does everybody understand how I picked that formula? You okay? All right, so if we do the TVM solver, we have to do capital N, we have to do I, we have to do PV, PMT, FV, and then PY and CY. And you have to know which one you're solving for. Okay, so on my TVM solver, which one of these am I solving for? It's the same, right, Tashina? Still FV, right? Didn't change. Still FV what I'm solving for. So I'm going to start with that saying 0. Okay. Now, solve it either way you want, I don't care, or both, and privately chat me the answer when you have it. Okay, so give me the answer in the chat just to me when you have it. And this is just for part 1, right? Just part 1. Make sure if you messaged me, you read your messages back because I send you a message right away if you got it right or wrong. So some of you are getting it right, some of you are not. And I don't have an answer from everybody yet, which is fine. I like you guys asking me questions in the chat. So I'm still waiting for answers from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, I think I'm still waiting on 2 answers. Okay, so let's go over this and see. So I just have a question. Raise your hand if you're using TVM. If you're using TVM. Put your hand up if you're using TVM. Only me and Tashina. Oh, Judith is, Zevi is, and Josh is. The rest of you are using formulas, is that correct? Who's using a formula? All right, look at V showing me her crazy formula on there. I like it. Nice. It's nice because you can put it all in, right? I don't care what you use. Doesn't matter to me. So either way, let's go over this. So in the formula, what do you put for payment, V? What did you put for payment?
140.
Very nice. Does everybody see why that's 140 in payment? Yeah? Okay. So now I put 1 plus, what is R, Mac, for the formula? What is R? What do I put there?
0.07.
Very nice. Excellent. Zevi, what would I put for N on that one?
Is it 72?
For the TVM solver, it is. Do you know what it is for the formula?
Then it's just 6. Or it's 12 for the compound monthly.
Very good. It's monthly. So if you're using the formula, you put in a 6. I'm sorry, not a 6. Zevi got me saying 6. You put in a 12 because it's monthly. Okay, so if you're using the formula, you put in a 12 for N because it's monthly. And then in the exponent, we'll do 12 and I wrote a 6 on the screen. What is happening? 12. Okay, and then how many years? So for T, I'm going to put 6, then minus 1 divided by, I'm going to put 0.07 divided by 12. So for the formula, that's what you would enter. Now for the TVM solver for N, capital N is lowercase n times T. So, and notice on the TVM solver, it says number of compounding periods, which means you take how many times it's compounded per year and multiply it by how many years that happens. So for N, capital N in the TVM solver, you're going to put in 72. So 72 is going to be our N. I'm guessing if you made a mistake with the TVM solver, that's where you made it, is the capital N, okay? And then for I, you're going to put in 7. For PV, we put in 0. For PMT, we're putting in negative 140. We're solving for FB. And PY and CY, we put in 12 because it's monthly. So did you find your mistake? Those of you who didn't get the right answer, did you find your mistake? Okay, so somehow take good notes on a piece of paper right now so you don't make that mistake again when you're doing your homework, right? Because it's going to happen because you thought it was the right way to do it already. Okay, and when you do this, for an answer in either the TVM solver or the formula, you should get $12,482.53. Everybody confirm that they can get that on either the TVM solver or the formula. Because if you can't, we need to fix it now.
So with these problems with PMT, like I saw here that you didn't put negative 140, but in the TVM solver, it says put negative 140 for each payment, right?
Yeah, since we're
Okay.
paying that in the TVM solver, if you don't put it, it'll just make your future value negative.
Okay.
So that's the only difference.
Gotcha.
Okay, so can I confirm everybody can get one of these answers, whether they did the TVM or the formula? All right, good, because that was part 1, right? So that was part 1. You're like, what? Yeah, annoying. And if you get part 1 wrong, you're definitely going to get part 2 wrong, right? Because it's based off of part 1. So now after we find that value, that $12,482.53, it says after 6 years, I leave the money, this money, in the account. I don't make any more payments, no more deposits, and I just sit it there for 26 years. Okay, so if you're using TVM, you would say, and all these same things, if you're not writing this stuff down on your paper, you're not showing me your work, and you're going to have a big problem when you take the quiz. And it also makes it a lot harder to do your assignments. Okay, so for the TVM, N now is going to be 26 years times 12. What's 26 times 12? Is it 316 or 312? I can't remember. 312. Okay, so again. So are we okay now? Somebody else probably just get kicked out. It's super fun. Okay, so sorry about that. Let me share my screen again. Okay, so where we were was Now for my present value, I'm going to put that $12,482.53 in there because that's how much I have now. Does that make sense? All right, so, and then for payment, I'm going to put 0 because I'm not making any more payments. For FV, this is what I'm solving for again. And PY and CY are still going to be 12 because it's monthly. Now, on the formulas, you have to be careful because you're not using an annuity formula anymore, okay? The formula you're now using is a compound interest formula. Does everybody see why maybe we would use a compound interest formula now? The reason we would is because we're no longer making any payments. So if we're not making any payments, we can't use the annuity formula. Okay, so I'm going to pull up the formula sheet so we can take a look at it again. So if we look at our formula sheet, we're going to go way back here and we're going to use the formula for compound interest that says A equals. So do you see how you have to be able to figure out which formula to use? Yeah, if you're a formula person, right? I don't care, it's totally fine. So now you're going to use that formula for this problem. So you're going to use A equals, A equals P times 1 plus R divided by N to the N times T power, which is, now P is our present value, that $12,482.53 times 1 plus 0.07 over 12 times 12 to the 20 times 12 times 26. Okay, so now either way, you should get the right answer, okay? When you get an answer, put it in the chat. Don't hit enter yet, okay? If you want to confirm, try the formula and try the TVM, right? Now you have everything that you need for it. So it's just, can we put it in our calculators correctly? Okay. So try it. Don't hit enter yet on your chat to me. And your chat's going to be to everyone. All right, does everybody have it? You ready? Okay, let's put our answer in the chat. 3, 2, 1, go. Okay, I see some same answers, so that's good. I see some answers that are different, and we're going to talk about why they might be different, okay? So I got the $76,634.11, okay? So if you did not get that, there could be several issues. One could be you're putting it in the formula incorrectly, like you don't have all the parentheses you need. That's one of the problems that it could be. The other thing is if you didn't round it before you moved it, you might have a problem, right? So if you left it like whatever it was, $12,482, and it was like 0.5321, if you left it that long, you'll get a different answer, right?
I
So
figured
recheck that. Oh, sorry, Zach. what?
I figured out what I did wrong for the formula. It says 1 plus and I accidentally put 1 minus instead in there. So that was
Okay. Perfect. So I'm glad you found that mistake. How about the rest of you that didn't get that answer? Can you go back and replicate? Like some of you got 36 cents on the end instead of 11 cents on the end. Are you not rounding before? You figure out? Okay, good. Josh figured it out. Ah, there you go. Yeah, if we write it in wrong, we're gonna do it wrong. And seriously, since I told you everything to plug in, if you're not getting the same answer as me, it's got to be something strange with what you're putting in. So, okay. So do you see how these problems are a little bit more complicated, right? Because they have two parts to them. Okay, so the next one says, here we have these two scenarios. Just do the first part first, where it says to save for retirement, Rocio deposits $400 each month into an account earning 7% interest compounded monthly for 25 years. How much will Rocio have saved for her retirement? Then we'll do the part two. We'll do the second part after that. And when you get your answer, you can type to me in the chat. Think about what you need to do if you're using TVM or if you're using the formula. Woohoo, you guys are fast. Sorry, some of you are really fast. We're still writing. So if I send you back that you got the first part right, think about how you do the second part. Sometimes they come in so fast, I can't even type. All right. Yeah, it's so easy to make a mistake on these problems. Like if you don't clear out everything, like go through each line of your TVM, it's real easy to make a mistake, right? So be careful on those. Okay, let's talk about what you fill in for these. So, and I'm just going to go by who's on my screen in front of me in order. So, first of all, Matt, do you use formula or TVM?
I'm using formula.
Okay, so formula. So, what did you put for payment on this first part?
So 400
Very nice. 400.
times, well, I put it in parentheses, and then times, wait, why is there two parentheses there? Well, okay, so times 1 plus 0.07 divided by 12 parentheses, and then raise it whatever above, and then parentheses 12 times 25 minus 1.
And then divided by?
Yeah, divided by, is it 0. Is it 0.07 divided by 12? Is that what you divided
Yep.
by? Okay.
Yep.
Is it 1,890 point?
No.
Okay, I don't.
It should be $324,028.68. And are you using Desmos or are you using a different calculator?
Desmos, the scientific one.
Okay, so Desmos, are you putting in all of these parentheses that you need? So let me show you. If I go to Desmos, here's one in there. Do you have all these parentheses? Like I'll change this to 400.
Let me see.
Like, do you have double sets of parentheses? Do you have parentheses around the very beginning? The payment?
I don't think I put parentheses around or on the 0.07 divided by 25, but I can't see it now because the screen just, you stopped sharing it, I think.
I stop sharing?
Yeah, is it just me or?
Can
Yes.
you guys see my screen?
No.
Okay. How about now? Better?
Yeah.
Okay, so does your screen look exactly like my screen? Parentheses and all, because you should get $324,028, and then it'll say 0.6772.
Hey, go below. Oh my god, I can't get to like. Okay, other than I just need to put the 0.07 on the bottom, like and divided by 12 on the bottom, but I can't freaking do it.
So in the very beginning, if you make it a fraction, it'll do it, you know? So you might have to start over. So like if you go back, if I clear all this, when I do it, I do 400 and then I go times and then I had a fraction.
I got it. There we go.
Okay. And now you have the right answers now?
Yeah. Yep. It's 3,000 or I can't read that number. Yeah, I got the number you got.
Yeah, $324,028 and 68 cents. All right. Okay, now if you did TVM, what did you put in for N? Lily, what did you put in for N?
I put 300.
Okay, and how'd you get 300? Do you remember?
I multiplied 12 times 25.
That's perfect. Good job, Lily. And then I is going to be 7, PV is going to be 0, payment is going to be -400, FV is what we're solving for. I like to highlight what I'm solving for. And then PY and CY are going to be 12. So we should get that value of $324,028.68. And I think everybody's on the right page, right? Okay, so that was part one again. So now we have to do part two, and the question is asking us something a little bit different. This time it's saying, or instead of depositing $400 a month for 25 years, then she could deposit just one time, right? At the very beginning. At the very beginning, she could make one deposit, earn 7% interest for 25 years. We want to know how much she would need to put in the account right now. How much would she need to put in the account right now? So hold on one second. Is this an annuity? Is this second part an annuity? And why or why not? Yeah, Ruki says no. Why not?
Because it's make one time, not
Very
regularly
nice.
making payment.
Perfect. So it's not an annuity anymore. So I can't use the annuity formula. I have to use the formula for compound interest, and specifically the one I need to use now, if I want just a lump sum, is this amount. I need to solve for principal or present value. Tricky? Do you see how you need to understand your formula sheet really well, right? So now, oops, sorry, I didn't mean to go that way. So now I need to use the formula that says P equals A divided by 1 plus R over N to the N times T. Or I can still use the TVM solver. If I use the TVM solver, I still have to fill in everything and make sure I know where things go. Okay, so do you see how if you're using the formulas, you better know how to figure out which formula to use? Because if you use the wrong formula, you're going to get the whole problem wrong. So if you're using TVM, it's okay. You still need to know where things go, right? So, but I think this is really important that you know it's the compound interest formula, not an annuity. Okay. So over here on the TVM, we're going to still do 25 times 12. So we're still going to get that 312. We're still at 7% interest. Now my PV is what I'm looking for. That's what I'm looking for now, is my PV. Yes, because I want to know how much I need to put in right now. I'm not making any payments, but I want to have $324,028.68 in my bank account. So do you see how that's different? And if you used this formula, you would say $324,028.68 divided by that 1 plus 0.07 over 12 to the 12 times 25. Okay, V, absolutely correct. Good job. So now try those calculations and send me your answer. If you already sent it to me, you don't have to send it to me again. I know some of you were a little ahead.
Miss Klassen, I'm glad you showed me the copy paste because that's all I do is just, I have the formula saved and I just go and input the new numbers.
It's heaven, isn't it? It's so nice to do that copy paste. Okay, what's super weird is Ruki and Lily just gave me the same answer, and it's just off by a little. So I'm not sure what you're doing. Can you check and make sure you put everything in right? Very nice, Annie, Danessa, Zach. That just saved me some typing. Very nice, Zevi. Wait, or I think you typed just a wrong number. Your 8 should be a 9, right, Zevi? Okay, good. Everything else was right, and I was like, that's just weird. Okay, if Desmos and the TVM solver are giving you different answers, you're not putting it into the formula correctly, right? You're not entering your formula correctly. There you go, Brady. Okay, so now Josh, Lily, and who else did I say before? Ruki. All of you have the same answer and it's wrong. And I'm not sure how you're getting it. So Josh, what did I say? Lily and Ruki, are you using your formula or are you using TVM?
TVM.
Okay, so Ruki and Josh are using TVM. Lily says she's using both. So are you putting in this into your TVM? And you're solving for PV. Double check it right now, because there's no way. I mean, it's literally impossible, right? It's a calculator. Tashina, I agree. There are a lot of ways to make a mistake. You have 0 in for your payment. And did you type your 324,028.68 exactly like I did?
We're supposed to solve for PV, right?
Okay, wait, I got the same answer as you, so I figured it out what you're doing. So let me see. Let me find what you're doing. Okay, hold on. Okay, hold on. No, that's not right. Hold on. So oh, it was me. I messed you up, Josh. Lily, I messed you up. This is what I messed up right here. Thank you, Ruki. Just pointed it out. Right here. Should have been 300, not 312. That's why it was close, but it wasn't right on because 25, like Ruki said, oh, you can't see it in the chat. Ruki said 12 times 25 is 300. Up here, we had 312 somewhere. There you go, up here. And I just copied that number. So that was my fault. Sorry. Good thing most of you ignore me. That's a good thing. Okay. Lily. Yep, Lily, yours is right now. So it was me. It was that 300. Thanks, Josh. Yep, it was me. Okay, so do you see how when you switch to a lump sum, when it talks about a single deposit, you have to change to the compound interest formula for PV, and you have to switch it on your TVM. Okay, you have one more that's like that, but then I have more practice for you. I know, it's amazing. Here's the rest of the practice I want you to do, and I'm going to put you in breakout rooms to do it. And you're going to have to think on this last one, and you need to be ready to explain it to the rest of the class because you're going to do presentations for your final project. So we need to practice talking to each other, right? Okay, so get that new doc I put in the chat. Get the new doc I put in the chat. You have one more problem with 2 parts on it that's just like the one we just did. Try to use the right numbers, not the numbers I wrote down, apparently. Okay, and then when you're ready in your breakout rooms, I'll come and check on you so you can call me in for help whenever you need it, okay? So I almost have your breakout rooms ready. 1 second. Okay. Call me in when you need help. Welcome back. Sorry, it's dog barking time. I don't know what's happening. But so a couple rooms I didn't get to, and I did get to, we're struggling on some of this. Okay. So first of all, let's look. And here's my answers for Lucille. Now, I know this slide looks really busy, but you can see we have, this is the first part. So right here is part 1 using the TVM solver.
Are you writing something? Because I don't think we can see it.
Can you not see my screen?
Yeah, no.
My internet must be really bad today.
Yeah, you buffed out for a minute there too.
Okay, is that better? Okay, so I have my TVM solver for each part, and then I have, so like this TVM goes to here, this TVM goes to here, and then I have my formulas for each part. This formula goes to here, and this formula goes to here. So I did it both ways on my slides, so you could kind of follow along and see where maybe you're making a mistake on this problem. Did anyone get these 2 answers on that Lucille problem? Anyone? This was the last problem on the worksheet that we started.
We were doing the worksheet, the
Yeah.
one that says Lucy invests 130 a month, 7 years into an account earning 9%.
So you were doing, not this
No.
one.
No.
You were doing this one.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So on this one, for Lucy, did you get, I have the answers to these in my slides too. So if you want to verify them, you can. Did you get $119,023.28 for Lucy? And then for Monica, did you get $118,973.37? Nice. That's what V and Zevi got, and maybe Zach too. Excellent. And Tashina. Okay. So, and we were talking about these problems get really confusing. So you have to make sure you're using the right formulas and you're going through all of it. So I have my key to this, but it has no work on it, which is not as helpful as my slides that have all the work on them. Okay. I'll try to update this one so you can see all the work on it too. Let's go back to my slides. So there's the poster problems and the key. Then I have another worksheet and the key. Let me look at that key and see if it's any better. Nope, no work on that one either. I don't know what I was doing, so I was being lazy. And then you have a PF7 annuities assignment due tonight. Most of the problems are very straightforward till you get to the end of the assignment. The end of the assignment is where you have these 2-part ones that we were talking about today, okay? And then you have a PF8 reading quiz to do. And so make sure you do that. I know a lot of you probably need to be visiting the tutoring center, right? And getting some help. You can also send me emails to ask questions too, okay? So make sure you do your exit ticket. I'm putting it in the chat right now. And the exit ticket is pretty straightforward. So let's see how you do on that. Otherwise, good job today, and I will see you tomorrow.